Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Budapest. Thank you for your patience. I know we're a little bit late starting today. Just had a couple of points to figure out with the stream configuration, but here I am. So hi Boomy, hi Michael, hi members. Thank you again for your patience. Hello regular students. Hi Kyber, Verpaul. Nighaim, nice to see many of you in the class. It's fantastic. All right, students. So again, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Check us out there. And for the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. In today's class, we will focus on speaking, specifically speaking part one. We'll talk about how to start strong, start right. And this is the first class this week for this week's live classes. You can check out our schedule on our YouTube community posts. But we will be going from today, which of course is Canada Day, July 1st, for those of you who know that. So big celebrations in Canada. That's my nationality. I'm Canadian. And we will go until July 4th, of course, as usual. So until Saturday. And as you know, July 4th will be America's big celebration for the American Day of Independence. So July 1st, Canada Day. July 4th, Independence Day. A little bit of history and culture. All right, tomorrow we'll do task 2 with members and then more classes each day. 2 classes tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. Everyone, let's warm up a little bit of our speaking here. So let's get into some speaking. Make sure to speak and repeat. So it's great that you're writing answers. It's great that you're thinking. But make sure, of course, to speak and repeat as well. I would love to imagine that I can hear you in all 4 corners of the world, copying my intonation, my pronunciation, and vocabulary so that you're learning and expanding your skills. All right, let's start this off. You walk into your IELTS exam. Now, of course, the first step to starting strong is make sure you get to your IELTS exam early on. So at least half an hour to 1 hour before your speaking test starts, and speak English only on the day of your exam. That's absolutely key. Okay, so don't just walk into the exam and switch from one language to English. That's not very good at all. All right, so you will be met by the examiner. The examiner will say, "Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. What is your full name?" Starting strong means that you answer this question clearly, accurately, confidently. Okay? So don't make mistakes answering a question like that. Jainil says, "My first name is Jainil and my surname is Gabani. Please call me by my nickname, Jarvis." I love that name, Jarvis. I don't know why. I always have. That's great, Jainil. It's a nice answer. Natural, it's clear, it's accurate. Very good. Amanjot says, "My given name is Amanjot Kaur, and my surname is Kaur. Please call me Aman for short." Okay, Aman, that's good. Just make sure that you say, "My given name is Amanjot, and my surname is Kaur. Please just call me Aman for short." Very good, Aman. That's a nice answer. Nigaiman says, "My surname is Nighaim. My given name is Un. Please call me Un for short." Okay, Un, is that actually short, Un, for some longer form of your name? If not, then you should say, "Please just call me Un." Okay, that's all it is. Short means the short version of your name, like an abbreviation. Okay. Rajbir Singh, if you see that there are glitches in this video, it's because it's a live stream without any delay. All right, it's not like a gaming live stream where there's delay. Here, because I interact with you, I never explain this to the students, but because I'm interacting with you in almost real time, like a telephone conversation, no 5 or 10-second delay, it's a bit more choppy than if you're watching like a gaming live stream or a sports live stream that has a delay, okay? So this is what's called ultra low latency streaming. And we have to keep building the technology to make it smooth and seamless. We're not there yet, but hey, pretty cool that we can do this, right? All right. So some good ways that you're answering your name there. That's fantastic. I'll give you an answer as well. So, of course, tell the examiner your nickname or the way you want to be called, because then their next question is, what should I call you? Okay. So try to get ahead of that question. One of the important points to starting strong is to seem familiar with the exam. So it's much better when the examiner feels that you are comfortable and familiar with the speaking interview, meaning that you've practiced it, okay? So my given name is Timothy, and my family name is Andrews. Please call me Tim for short. Okay, so that works. Tell them right away. So here we go. Repeat after me. What is your full name? My given name is Timothy. My family name is Andrews. Please call me Tim for short. Okay. All right, Tim. May I see your identification? Make sure to have your identification with you. And even have it in your hand. So yeah, if you have it in your pocket, you can say, let me dig it out of my pocket. But it's good to have your identification in your hand when you are in the speaking interview, because that again shows the examiner that you're ready and that you practiced and you know that you need to show your ID. Okay? So have it with you, have it ready. All right, Samuel Sadir says, yes, of course. Here it is. That's good, Samuel. It's short and it's sweet, and it's fine. Again, especially students, if you give a short answer, like, yes, of course, here it is, make sure that you're fluent, accurate, and you have some nice pronunciation. So again, yes, of course, here it is. Okay. Khyber Moman says, yes, of course, here's my passport, which I used for registration. Please have a look. Very nice and expressive, Khyber. That's good. Raminder says, yes, sure. This is my passport. I used it for registration. Here you go. Okay. Nice natural language, Raminder. Just a small mistake there. Students, in the first couple questions, don't make mistakes at all. Okay. Have 2-3 different ways of answering these 2 questions. What is your name? May I see your identification? 2-3 ways for each one that you know are 100% clear and accurate and natural, okay? They should just be spontaneous and immediate when you're asked these questions. Hina Arshad says, yes, of course, here's my passport that I used to register. Please take a look. Used to registration, normally, Hina's bit nonsensical, so careful with that. Moman Dezat says, absolutely. Here's the passport. I used it to register for this exam. Okay, all right, so those work. Again, several different ways. Don't get bored of saying this. Just keep practicing until it becomes reflexive. So yes, certainly. Here's my passport that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, so again, starting strong, okay, means a couple of important points here. So start strong. It means be ready for the first couple of questions with at least 3 clear, natural, and correct responses. Make it obvious that you are familiar with the format of the IELTS speaking interview, and you have practiced for it. Even if you're high level, okay? Even if you are high level in English, okay? Even a native speaker should go through this. It's a proficiency exam. It's not an ESL exam, okay? All right, and then one of the next questions, so at this point, the examiner will say, okay, Tim, nice to meet you again. I will record this for marking purposes, and I will give you instructions for each part. For part one, I will ask you a couple more questions to get to know you better, some questions on a general topic, and then they'll start off with some really easy questions to not scare you or freak you out, make you comfortable. And one of the most common ones is this one here. Do you work or study? So again, make sure that you have a really clear answer for this one. Saswati says, I work as a software developer in an IT firm in Kolkata, as well as I've been studying for the IELTS exam over the last 3 months. Okay, Saswati, great. I made a couple of corrections there to make that sound even more natural and accurate. Okay. Bekjan, yeah, you can. So Bekjan's asking for the previous one. Can I use? Certainly. Here's my passport that I've used to register for the exam. Yeah, you can, Bekjan, because some people are registering as long back or as far back as 3-4 months for their exam, especially with the COVID. I know some students registered months and months in advance. So you can use the present perfect. Yeah, Bekjan, that's a good question. So you can say, yes, certainly, here's my passport that I've used to register for the exam. Yeah, definitely, it's okay. It's a good place to show the present perfect. All right. So again, back to this question. Do you work or study? Orksan Abasli says, I'm currently working as a retailer at a supermarket and studying for the IELTS exam in order to expand my job opportunities. Very good. Good for you, Orksan. Okay. Yeah, we don't really use it in that sense, Orksan. So I'm currently working as a seller. No, I'm currently working as a retailer. It's better, retailer. Okay. Cashier, clerk. All right. Mustafa Ahmed says, I'm in my 5th year of medical studies at Gomel State Medical University. Okay, Mustafa, good. Finish the idea there because I'm planning to become a orthopedist or whatever it is that you're planning to do. Okay. Mafia Memes says, well, currently I passed high school and now I'm preparing for the IELTS exam since March. Yeah, Mafia Memes, we wouldn't say passed high school, we would say graduated high school. All right. So even though that sounds okay, it's not natural. A native speaker would not say passed high school. You would only hear graduated high school. Okay. So avoid these kinds of slight but awkward mistakes in the beginning because they will set the tone and they can and will affect your score negatively. All right. Amit Gupta says, I am working as a software professional in a multinational company. Okay. Answer, explain, example, students. So give details and show fluency early on. Okay. So another important point to start strong is show fluency for the examiner early on. This means give complete answers with details without going off topic. Keep in mind, this is not a simple, casual chit-chat. So quick, short answers will not do well for the overall result. Okay? And hey, think about it this way as well. Why not show fluency in part 1 with the easier questions than suffering to show fluency in part 3, right? You might as well show your fluency and get comfortable early on, even if that's a little bit more than what you would naturally answer or say for a question. So do you work or study? Here's where you can show your correlative conjunction. Okay, so you can do something like, well, I both work as a software developer at Astix, I'm just making that up, multinational company, mostly working on educational programs, and I'm studying, or I've been, why not show your present perfect, I've been studying for this IELTS exam to continue my education at MIT in the States. Okay, should probably write that as capital. There we go, so we know we're talking about the United States. So here we go, students. Repeat after me again. Notice the detail and notice the both and. So emphasizing and using that correlative conjunction, making strong connections. And again, yeah, using present perfect is a great idea. Here I'm using present perfect continuous. So repeat after me. Do you work or study? Well, I both work as a software developer at Astix Multinational Company, mostly working on educational programs, and I've been studying for this IELTS exam to continue my education at MIT in the States. Okay, that would be a complete answer. You're showing fluency and you're staying on topic. That's what you need to do. Okay, all right, then comes the next question. What is your hobby? So again, very common. I know some students get bored answering this question in English because they're asked so frequently by teachers and the like. But in the IELTS, your goal is to show your skills and you want to seem excited, like you're being asked the question the first time in your life, and you want to give a clear answer. Shirojidin Abduholikov says, when it comes to my hobbies, I definitely say that I'm really into football. I love both watching and playing it with my friends. Just yesterday, I and my buddies watched Real Madrid match together, ate some pizza. It's loads of fun. Okay, very good. Yeah, watching sports, playing sports can be a type of hobby. Absolutely. Especially if it's not competitive, if you're not getting paid to do it. Okay? Himanshu, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by going from a general entry. So clarify that for me and I can answer that question better for you. Okay. All right. Ayana says, lately, I've been really interested in banking. So during my free time, I learned the basics of it and practice what I see on YouTube. Actually, yesterday I made some brownies and it was good. Sorry, baking, Ayana. I thought banking. Well, I saw that end there. Baking, yeah, baking is a great hobby. So one more time, Ayana. Lately, I've been really interested in baking. So during my free time, I learned the basics of it and practiced what I saw on YouTube. Actually, yesterday, I made some brownies and they tasted great. That's really good, Ayana. Yeah, baking. What a wonderful hobby. All right. Raminder Singh says, I usually read books during my leisure time and it helps me to gain knowledge during my free time and even feel relaxed. That's great, Raminder. What are you reading? Give me the title of a book. This past week, I've been reading Life of Pi and it's quite entertaining. Okay. So examples are good, especially for this kind of question where it's easy. Okay. So I not only collect comic books, but also coins because I love the art and the stories that these items tell. In fact, I was overjoyed the other day when I won the bid on a Silver Surfer first issue. All right. So, what is your hobby? It's not do you have a hobby, it's just what is your hobby? So you can go right into giving the answer. Repeat after me. I not only collect comic books, but also coins because I love the art and the stories that these items tell. In fact, I was overjoyed the other day when I won the bid on a Silver Surfer first issue. It's actually a page from my life. It wasn't really yesterday, it was a while back. But that is your high-level answer, okay? I answer comic books, coins. I give an explanation. I love the art, the stories that these items tell. And then I go right into a smooth flowing example. In fact, I was overjoyed the other day. Now, sometimes students say, hey, my teacher told me not to give examples, or the examiner interrupts if I give an example. That can be true if you start with a leading expression like for example. In the past, we used to say do this, but because so many students went off topic when they were doing this, the examiners got a little bit more strict and started interrupting students. So here's another way to not only start strong, but to stay strong is make sure to give smooth examples with your answers. Okay, this means just state the example directly. Do not say, for example. Okay, if that happens once or twice during your interview, like you say, for example, and then you start, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. It's natural. We do that in everyday language as well, so it's okay, but definitely don't purposefully keep throwing in the term for example, for instance, for example, because yeah, the examiner will likely interrupt you. So don't say for example or for instance, as examiners may interrupt you in fear that you are about to go into a long rant and go off topic. Okay? The word rant, if that's new for you, ranting, ranting. Always copy new words if this is a new word for you. Ranting. Ranting is when we're just talking and we keep talking about the moon and the stars and the beautiful dolphins in the ocean and the way that they swim around the world, where the trees grow, and you just keep talking and talking. That's ranting, okay? Ranting will lower your mark, okay? Ranting will lower your mark. So please don't just keep talking until the examiner stops you. That's a really awkward advice that some students have got in the past. Like, just keep talking until the examiner stops you. What? No, don't do that, okay? That's not a good approach to having a high mark and a good conversation. Okay, so at this point, the examiner may break into something like, they might make a comment like, let's talk about daily life, okay? When you hear daily life, so when you hear the topic, realize that the next few questions will be connected to that, and immediately think about daily life, routines, responsibilities, errands. Okay, so think about all of the different components of daily life: school, friends, family. So that these words, these thoughts should be rapidly flashing through your head as you hear daily life. Okay? All right. So let's get into these, students. The examiner says, let's talk about daily life. What do you usually do for fun? Okay, again, these are meant to be simple questions to get you talking. So, what do you usually do for fun? Okay. All right. Bekjan Omirzak says, in order to have fun, I usually watch comedy films, which make me laugh all the time. Like last weekend in the evening, I watched a comedy called Full Speed, and I couldn't hold myself from laughing for a long time. Okay, very good. And you shouldn't hold yourself back, John. Let yourself laugh and roar. All right, Roshni Kunte says, well, I frequently get along with my pals for hiking since it's enjoyable as well as a fun activity. Going for 6 to 7 km hikes to recharge my batteries and ready to kick up my heels on Sunday. Okay, Roshni, sure, a hike can be entertaining. Just make clear why it's entertaining, okay? So if you're going to say an answer like, I like going on hikes for fun, explain why. I have a couple of really good friends. We laugh and joke while going through the trails in the forest and enjoying the beautiful scenery. We tell each other all about all the crazy events that happen during our work week. Okay, so what is entertaining? What is fun about the hike, Roshni? Don't lose the controlling idea of the question. You're the subject, controlling idea is fun activity. So that has to be really clear, okay? To be strong in your answers, you have to be specific. All right, Awaz Akhmedov says, in order to spend my time with some fun, I mainly play 3D games on my computer, whether alone or with my friends, depending on the situation. Okay, what kind of a game do you play, Awaz? So what is a computer game that helps you to have loads of fun? I know I like the game Worms. Worms is very comedic and can be loads of fun. Fun doesn't necessarily mean funny, but entertaining. You want to give specifics. Pooja says, well, I am indeed a fun-loving person. I love to go shopping, try new cuisines whenever I get some time from my jam-packed work schedule. Okay, that's, again, not bad, Pooja. It still sounds more like hobbies. I mean, we can associate that with fun, but why is it fun? Why is it fun for you to try on new clothes? Okay. All right. Rajveer Singh says, I usually watch web series for fun. They always help me decompress and help me improve my English as well. Like yesterday, I binge watched Friends for 10 seasons, and I was overjoyed with the sarcastic comments of Chandler. Rajveer, that's brilliant, okay? It's so visual, it's so powerful, it's pop culture, definitely. So let me borrow that from you, Rajveer. Using pop culture that most people are familiar with is a very good idea because it allows the examiner to sympathize or empathize with you without too much effort. Okay. In fact, when you use pop culture in your examples, it can even make you sound clearer, more coherent, make your pronunciation even sound better just because you're creating familiarity. Okay. So when I want to kick back and enjoy life a bit, I like to watch a comedy series such as binge watching Friends last weekend. I just couldn't stop laughing at Ross's melancholy attitude and bad luck. Okay. All right. All right. So, see, if I'm the examiner, Rajveer, that's how much I can empathize with what you're saying. You're talking about Chandler and Chandler's sarcastic comments. Immediately, I can think of the other characters and why they're so funny, like Phoebe being a little bit on the dumb side. All right, so here we go. What do you usually do for fun? When I want to kick back and enjoy life a bit, I like to watch a comedy series, such as binge watching Friends last weekend. I just couldn't stop laughing at Ross's melancholy attitude and bad luck. Okay, because that's his character. All right, very good. So, yeah, why not make a note of that tip? It's definitely a worthy one. It's definitely good if you can use this, not just in part 1, but also part 2 and part 3. So using examples from pop culture, like Friends, McDonald's, or PUBG. And Facebook, let's say, one more, really can help your score because it makes your communication more comprehensible due to sympathy. Okay? So if you can have the examiner sympathize with what you're saying, of course that's going to help your communication. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right. Okay, let's go to the next question. So here we go. Where do you like to go for food? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Where do you like to go for food? All right, Amanjak Kaur says, well, mostly I prefer to eat food by my mom at home, but if I get bored from homemade foods, then I like to eat food at a restaurant, specifically Italian pizza, which is a stone's throw away from my house. Okay, all right. Kevin Bowie says, if I'm at home, I head to either the fridge or the pantry where all the groceries are and whip up a meal for myself, like instant noodles with sausages. But if I'm outside, I'll visit a convenience store and purchase snacks. These prices are reasonable, and I can't help myself but eat a bit of junk food every now and then. Something like that, Kevin, okay? All right. Nilesh Praful Patel. My city is very famous for its food. One of the best restaurants is near my home, and its food, it's amazing. They provide me with the best starter and delicious desserts. Nilesh, it's a little bit general, okay? What's the name of the restaurant? What kind of food do they serve? What's the amazing starter, and what's the dessert? Be specific. Amen, excuse me. So, yeah, be specific with your answers. Name the restaurant, name the food. Okay? All right. Paul Laris says, at this moment, I don't have a favorite restaurant. I like to wander around the city and discover new ones, although there's a restaurant in Barcelona called Viana that really knocks my socks off. Knock my socks off? Yeah, okay. It's kind of an old school idiom, Paul, but sure, it'll work. For a restaurant, it's a bit awkward because we're talking about food and socks in the same content, but I get it. All right. Thank you, Jawan. Thank you, Saswati. Okay. So, Happy Sidhu says, well, my favorite hotel is Mehmaan. I usually go there with my loved ones. I like Mehmaan because there's a lot of very tasty food there and they provide good quality food. Okay. No, Amir, it's definitely not the corona. I don't think I need to go get tested. It's more like my summertime allergies. A lot of pollens in the air. And I have a fan blowing my face. But thank you for the worry. All right. Saswati says, most often I buy my food at a place called Aldi, which is a large supermarket located about 10K from my house. I go there about once every 2 weeks. In fact, I was just there this last Saturday. They have all these stores here in Budapest as well. So where do you like to go for food? Could be a restaurant. Could be also a grocery store. Sure, why not? And many of us go to both. This is where, again, you could use your correlative conjunction. Okay? So, I either enjoy going to Spar, which is a quality grocery store near my home, to buy produce, or I'll occasionally go out to a restaurant called Osteria Pizza when I'm feeling lazy and want to enjoy some delicious Italian. Just yesterday, I took my family there for supper. All right. So again, answer, explain, example, show grammar range. That is, of course, one of the main criteria. Your marking criteria is grammar range. So you do have to switch up your present perfect, your continuous forms, simple forms, progressive forms. Here we go, students. Repeat after me. Where do you like to go for food? I either enjoy going to Spar, which is a quality grocery store near my home, to buy produce, or I'll occasionally go out to a restaurant called Osteria Pizza when I'm feeling lazy and I want to enjoy some delicious Italian. Just yesterday, I took my family there for supper. Okay? Answer, explain, example. Notice how I'm using either or in this case. Either or. I've used either or. I've used both and. I've used not only but also in my speaking so far. And definitely I'm picking up points. Okay? So keep this in mind, students, that high level. So when you get into the band 7 to band 8, okay, band 7 to band, 9, means a good to expert user of English. At this level, a person can not only express their thoughts clearly, but also control the emphasis and details of their communication. The emphasis and details of communication are controlled mostly by grammar and lexical resource, okay, which means, of course, your vocabulary. An example is the use of correlative conjunctions. Conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions, there's not a ton of them, but there's a few, like not only, but also. Either, or, neither, nor. Whether, or. Both, and. Okay, so those are your correlative conjunctions. You want to use those in your speaking. And of course, you want to control your grammar as well. All right, try it. Students, try it. Here we go. Next question. So again, we're still talking about daily routines. When do you go to sleep? Now, notice how on the examiner's question sheets, you have the why in brackets. That's because they don't have to ask you this only if you don't give the answer. Then they'll say, oh, and why is that? Or why do you wake up so early? Or why do you wake up at that time? So they will just ask you, when do you go to sleep? You should answer and then give the reason. Okay, and again, why not give the example? When did you wake up today? Give that example. Okay, it's only going to help you. All right. So Flower Sun says, as a night owl, I usually go to bed at midnight. Not only do I work more effectively during the nighttime, but also the silence of the night helps me to pay attention to homework. Okay, very good, Flower Sun. I love how you're using the expression that we learned last week, night owl. Fantastic. 12 p.m., it's okay. Midnight, a little bit more natural. And the silence of the night to pay attention to homework. Okay, good. Amanjat Kaur says, well, after completing my daily work, I usually hit the bed at around 9, but if the teachers give me a lot of work, then I go to sleep around 10. This gives me lots of time to start the next day full of energy. Lots of time to sleep. Yeah, very good. That's a nice answer. Okay. Mustafa Ahmed says, I go to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 5 in the morning when I'm most productive. I get some work done and some study, especially if there are no distracting phone calls or DMS. After that, I like to go for a 20-minute walk or jog. Mustafa, or run, yeah. Mustafa, don't go off topic, right? So careful not to keep talking too much about what you do after you wake up, because the question isn't what do you do after you wake up, it's when do you go to sleep. So stay focused always on the question, okay? All right, Moby Bag says, well, after I complete my daily work, I go to my room and take a bath, which helps me relax, and then I hit my bed and go to sleep. Okay, Moby, a couple of kind of awkward phrases there, so careful. Okay, again, keep it simple. Use qualitative, quantitative language. All right, and don't go off topic, students. We're not asking here about your nightly or morning routines. We're talking about when you go to sleep. So I usually go to sleep quite late, around midnight, because I have a lot of work to do, and the best time for me is in the evening when there are fewer distractions. Last night, I got to bed at around 12:30 a.m. Okay, so again, notice how I'm using qualitative language, late, with quantitative language, midnight and 12:30 a.m. So that's, again, really good to do. So I usually go to sleep quite late, around midnight, because I have a lot of work to do, and the best time for me is in the evening when there are fewer distractions. Last night, I got to bed at around 12:30 a.m. Okay, students, and then here you have a few more questions that are still in part one. The examiner may or may not ask you these depending on how you're doing. Who do you like spending time with? Have there been any big changes in your daily activities over the past year? If you could add one more activity to each day, what would it be? I will leave those last 3 questions for you. You can answer those last 3 questions, record them on your phone in MP3 format, and you can send them to me at adrian@aehelp.com, and I will tell you what kind of a band score you would get. Now make sure to answer all 3 of those questions. Okay, they're at the end of the video. And make sure it's an MP3 recording. If I hear those 3 answers, I can give you a more accurate estimate for your speaking score. And I look forward to doing that. Again, students, visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gltshelp.com for general. We've got lots of help there for you. This is our academic web portal here with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join. And this is our general website here with the green background, gltshelp.com, and you can click that big red button to join. And then, of course, improve your band scores with videos, practice exams, interactive courses, strategies, and much, 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 much more. That's it for me for today. I will be back tomorrow with task 2 for members and a new reading passage for everyone, a brand new reading passage that you have not seen anywhere because it is in the production pipeline. So a brand new speaking tomorrow for everyone, and task 2 for members. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with me today. Good on you for expanding your English and improving yourself and your mind. Again, I will be back tomorrow at this time and also a little bit earlier for members. Much love to all of you. I'm Adrian signing out from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. Bye for now.